The drug test. Yes, drug testing. They will drug test you throughout your entire career. Big deal. Why do you think drugs in corrections are such a big deal?
Smuggling.
Yeah, smuggling, exactly. Devonna nailed it. Smuggling into prisoners, right? So, because of that, MDOC has absolute zero tolerance for drug use, anything. And as Maria mentioned in her lecture, even marijuana, which is legal now, zero tolerance. So if you test positive for marijuana or anything else, you're gone. You're out of there. They're not playing. Testing positive is permanent disqualification. They flag your file and you can never be hired. You can never be considered. You're done. It includes all illegal drugs. That's kind of in the dog category, would you say? Yeah, do we even need to go there? Yeah, the word illegal speaks for itself. And prescription drugs if you don't have a current prescription. Now here's where some people can get caught up, right? Maybe you're working out real hard, you're getting ready for that physical fitness test, you're doing the stairs, and man, you tweak your knee. And oh my God, the test is next week, I gotta be ready for this. So, maybe your mom had some Vicodins left over from her hysterectomy or something, and you borrow a few of those, right? Pop them, get the pain down, get ready for your PT test. Cool. So you fly through your PT test, no problems at all, and then you go to the drug test and you test positive for codeine, right, Vicodin? And they say, no problem, just show us your prescription. And you go, yeah, about that. Right, because you don't have a prescription for this stuff. So you're done. And a lot of people don't think about that stuff, so just be careful. Don't do silly stuff.
Well, isn't it technically illegal to take a prescription that's not yours?
Say again?
Isn't it illegal to use a prescription that's not
It is illegal, yeah. It's an illegal federal offense to do that, to use somebody else's prescription. Or if you don't have a current prescription. So if you're on the meds, just make sure your prescription's current so you can show that. Yeah. So don't get caught up in that. And especially with the marijuana being legal now, a lot of people are saying, well, it's just a little marijuana. No, it's not. That is $1 million joint. Shall we do the math? Now remember, I'm not good at math, so bear with me. But $1 million joint, are you with me? Let's say, because I'm going to use round numbers since I don't do math, let's say that you make $50,000 a year, which is low. Okay, you're going to make more than that, and then when you add in the benefits and everything else, you're going to make a lot more than that. But because I don't do math, this is a nice round number. And let's say that you work 20 years. $1 million bucks, right? That's your $1 million joint. Is it worth it? And that's not counting your health care, your personal days, your sick leave, your vacation time, all of the benefits that you get, all of the extra money, shift differentials, overtime. So, in reality, it's probably even closer to a $2 million joint. Do you really want to go there? Is it worth it? I don't think so. I wouldn't do it. So just understand that they're not kidding. They're not playing at all. Zero tolerance. The interview. Let's talk about interviewing. Interview. Dress professionally for the interview. Now I know Maria went over some of this, but what is professional attire again?
Casual.
What?
Casual.
Casual. Did I hear casual? No, not casual. Interview attire. Yeah, not casual, right? Not casual. So tell me how a male applicant would be dressed.
Dress shirt, tie, dress pants, dress shoes.
You gonna put a jacket on?
Like a winter jacket?
No.
Suit jacket?
Like, like the jacket that goes with the dress pants. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, because a lot of other applicants will not, and this is a competition. Right? And your job, as my student, is to eviscerate the competition. And the best way to do that is to one-up everybody. So you're going to have a lot of people in there with dress pants and a nice shirt and a tie, but they won't have the jacket. So you're going to look better, first. Secondly, right, it's an interview. We've all been to interviews. You know what interviews are like? They're nerve-wracking, aren't they? So what happens after about, a half hour, after you put your deodorant on, it quits working. And then what happens? And you got big, wet, pitty stains. And everybody can see that you're nervous. And you've heard the old commercial saying, never let them see you sweat. Well, guess what? If you've got that suit coat on, that blazer, they can't see you sweat. So your deodorant could have stopped working last week. You could be all pitty and wet and nasty, and nobody's ever going to know it because you got that sharp-looking blazer on, you see? Yeah, so we want every edge that we can get over the competition. How about for a female applicant? What's she going to look like? Julie, help me out.
Minimal makeup, hair pulled back,
Okay.
dress clothes.
Dress clothes, okay. Is it okay for a female to wear a business suit with slacks? Sure, of course it is. How about for a skirt? Can a female applicant wear a skirt? Does the length matter?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Think modest, right? Knee length. How about shoes? Stilettos? Those are good, right? No?
I mean, not if you don't want to use it every day.
Yeah, no. Okay, so your job here, especially for females, is to demonstrate to the interviewers that you understand what workplace standards are and the nature of the work that you're going into. So this means that, you know, if you're wearing a heel, it should be a very low heel, or flat shoes, you know, good sensible shoes that you could walk in if you had to. Because that demonstrates that you understand the kind of field that you're going into. Most guys understand what dress professionally means, but there are two standards for female nice, and some women get them confused, and I've seen it. If you sit out here when we have our career fair and just watch the people go in, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? Because there's that professional nice, the business suit, you know, looking professional in a business way, and then there's the nightclub nice. And a lot of females don't know the difference. So if you sit out there in the hall and watch the registration desk, when we're having a big career fair here, you will be absolutely appalled because there are a lot of women come in nightclub nice. Not cool. Short skirts, high heels, low-cut shirts. I mean, that might be great for the nightclub, but not for an interview, right? So, if you ever watch any TV shows with courts, attorneys, you know, Law and Order, SVU, or something like that, take a look at how the attorneys dress on TV. And now you can be a little bit better. She looks a little frumpy. You don't have to go there. But you know what I'm saying? Dress for success. Neutral colors, black, charcoal, navy. So not the day to wear the lime green suit. It looks sharp. It's fun. I like colors like anybody else, but not today, okay? Not today. Conservative tie, jewelry. So again, you know, keep it with a solid tie or maybe just some stripes or something like that. Nothing garish, nothing crazy, you know, not with a sports car on it or something like that. Okay, same with the jewelry. No dangly, hoopy earrings, just nice little studs. And if you're one of those people that have got 14 piercings, lose 13 of them. Right? Because again, you're coming in and you're going to demonstrate that you understand what workplace standards are. Yeah. And really, in reality, I mean, you're probably not even going to want to wear earrings to work. Because the first thing that happens when you get into a roll around with somebody is if anything is sticking out on you, they're going to grab for it. And that includes earrings. And I know more than a few officers that have had earrings yanked through their ears. Yeah, I know, ow. Polished conservative shoes. Maria tells me that sometimes, you know, a guy will just come in and he's just killing it. He's got the suit, he's got the tie, he's got the jacket on, and then he's wearing tennis shoes. And so make sure that you're wearing dress shoes to finish off the ensemble. Now maybe you're all saying, well, gosh, you know, these kind of clothes cost a lot of money. And I'm a college student, I don't have a lot of money. Well, guess what? There are places you can go that you can get nice clothes really reasonably. First off, we've got Delta's Closet. If you go down to counseling and tell them that you have an interview, you don't have any money, and you need to pick out some interview clothes, they'll take you to a special place, and you can sort through all kinds of cool donations that people have brought in of business clothes and outfit yourself. You can go to the Salvation Army. You can go to the Goodwill. Because guess what? People that make a lot of money outgrow their good clothes. And they bring them in. And sometimes you can even get clothes in there with price tags still on them. They've never even been worn. So don't be afraid to check places out like that. You're college students, you don't have a lot of money. So go get some nice clothes, but don't spend a lot of money, right? Yes, sir.
What about, because I've heard some people say this and I don't know how, like, what about wearing for guys, like, some of them, 'cause I've been told to sometimes wear combat boots for it, it's like a nice dress.
Not for an interview. No, not for an interview. This is dress for success, not dress for combat. Yeah. Boots are good on the job, but not for an interview, right? Good grooming, no unusual hairstyles. I think Maria mentioned this. This is not the day to dye your hair blue and punk it out. Yeah, just keep it chill, right? Good grooming, no weirdo hairstyles. Remove your visible body piercings. So, I mean, if you've got, you know, the thing through the nose or the big, you know, the snake bite through the lip, or this is a good time to remove those temporarily. Yeah. Conservative, think conservative. Cover visible tattoos. Now, Department of Corrections is conservative. They've gotten better about tats. But, you know, still, it's always better in an interview of any sort to cover the visible tattoos. Now, obviously, if you're dressed like this, you could probably have a tattoo just about anywhere. Just don't put a third eye on your forehead, okay? But other than that, I mean, it would be hard to see any tattoos on these people anyway. You know, and if you've got a big one on your leg, well, then just wear pants. No big deal. So that one's pretty easy to do. Yes, sir?
What if they have, what about neck tattoos? Like
What about?
neck tattoos?
Well, you know, again, I mean, where is it? Because you got a tie on, and your neck's all covered up.
Yeah, that's true. I was just, because I'm like,
Yeah, you're good. I don't see any on you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you're not going to go in there with a scarf on because you got neck tattoos.
Oh, no. You know, and I mean, if you've got offensive tattoos that are ever going to show, you're going to want those removed anyway, right? I mean, the marijuana leaf, or, you know, some obscenity or profanity or something like that, you wouldn't want to do that anyway. All right, some good examples. This young lady here, now check her out. Does she look sharp or what? She is in a navy blue business suit. See up here, her shirt is high and tight. She's not showing any cleavage. The blouse is not see-through. She's got sensible shoes on. She looks sharp. She's ready to rock and roll. And both of these folks here, now again, the young lady has a shirt that's about the outer parameter there for a blouse. I wouldn't put anything on lower than that. And that's about where you're going to want your skirt length, okay? That's good, sensible attire, and of course the man's going to kill it. This guy, he's killing it. He looks good. And here are some examples of what not to do. Okay, don't go goth. Goth is not good in an interview. What's the issue with her? I mean, she's an attractive young lady.
Is she just wearing a jacket?
Well, she is wearing a jacket.
I'm saying, is that just it?
Is there a problem with that jacket? And the blouse? Yeah, what blouse? She's showing an awful lot of cleavage there, isn't she? You go into a Department of Corrections or any kind of criminal justice interview showing cleavage, they might enjoy the show. They're going to enjoy the interview a lot, but you aren't going to get that job. Because right away, we're going to be thinking, well, what are you going to do with the inmates? Then you're going to be coming on to them too? What's his problem?
Shirt's not tucked in. It's a t-shirt.
Too casual.
Too casual, right? He's wearing a polo shirt and khakis. What do we want to wear?
Dress shirt with a jacket.
Yeah, suit and tie. Suit and tie. Not khakis and a polo shirt. That's too casual. We don't want to go there. So, dress professionally for the interview. And you have a handout that talks about the interview. One of my former students wrote, with permission of DOC, that details his interview and what happened and how some people were dressed and what happened when they were dressed unprofessionally. So make sure that you read that. Now, bring clothing for the physical fitness test. Don't come in your gym clothes. Right, dress for success, and they'll let you change clothes for the PT part. Yes, sir?
I was a little confused. This is directly after the interview?
It is.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was directly after or like a day or two
Oh no, it's directly after. You don't want to drive to Lansing twice, do you? Yeah, so they interview you and then they do the PT test. So you can go change clothes and then, yeah. Bring and use breath mints. Now Maria said when you go into an interview, you should not have anything in your mouth, and she's not kidding. So if you use breath mints or gum to freshen your breath, that's excellent, but be sure to spit it out before you go in because it's very distracting and unprofessional. But you're going to be in close quarters with people when you're doing the interviews, you know, and if you've got that dragony breath, all that interviewer is going to be thinking about is how quickly can I get away from this stinky person, right? So you don't want them to go there. So make sure that your breath is nice and fresh and sweet. Brush your teeth, do your flossing, all of that. You will be told before you leave whether or not you have passed the interview. There is a minimum of 30 days before you can interview again if you do not pass. So they'll tell you if you passed the interview, they'll tell you if you passed the PT, and you've got at least 30 days before you can return. Make sense? Yeah. So we're going to practice those, right? We're not going to, I can do that. Make sure that you're checking to be sure that you can. Sell yourself. This is your sales pitch here. Sell yourself. You have literally one opportunity to make a good first impression. That's why they call them first impressions. They're going to ask you, what do you have to offer our organization? What do you bring to the table? Why should we hire you? And what are you going to tell them? You are going to honk your horn. Boom, 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 boom. You're just going to go right down the list and tell them every great thing about you, how awesome you are. Right. All of the skills and abilities that you bring, just keep going until they tell you to shut up. What do you got for us? Oh, well, I have, right? Education. So many people forgot that on their honk their horn assignments. Isn't it like the biggest thing? I mean, you're here. And it's not easy to come here, is it? Day in, day out, week after week, month after month, semester after semester. It's not easy. We all know that. We all been there. So that's a pretty big deal, your education. And more is better. So maybe you got your vocational certificate. I would encourage every single person in here who completes the 5 corrections classes to get their certificate. It's a piece of paper. And get all the paper that you can. You say, well, I have my certificate and I have my associate degree. Oh, yeah, cool. They really like that certificate, by the way. They'll give you a little bit of an extra goose on the hiring process with that. I have my bachelor's degree. Plus, you get a bachelor's degree that puts you in line for promotions later on, too. Or even lateral moves. Maybe you decide after 10 or 15 years, yeah, I don't like Department of Corrections so much anymore. Maybe I'll do something else. Or maybe you want to slide over into probation and parole, right? That opens up that avenue for you. So more is better. Get your certificate, get your associate's degree, and get your bachelor's degree. Get them all. Be greedy. So honk your horn on your education. And then past experience or jobs. The interviewer says, what past experience or jobs do you have that would help you be a corrections officer? And here's the killer answer, nothing. No, don't ever say nothing. Every single job has what we call transferable experience. Every single job, doesn't matter if you were a ditch digger. Did you come to work on time? Did you give a fair day's work for a fair day's pay? Did you work as part of a team? Were you able to work individually and unsupervised, right? Flipping burgers at Mickey D's. I mean, whatever it is you've done, something about that job, there is some aspect that's going to be transferable. So what you need to do is sit down and review the kind of work that you've done, assess your jobs, and make a list of transferable skills. We have this little cartoon here. And the census taker says, occupation, just a housewife. And you can see the lady is kind of scowling. She looks a little unhappy about that tag. Because she's thinking to herself, I am way more than a housewife. Look at all the things that I do. I'm a cook, a chauffeur, a gardener, a laundress, a nurse, an accountant, a seamstress, a referee, a veterinarian, a news commentator, a teacher. if you think about it, housewives are actually running small businesses. And if you had to pay for what they actually do, you'd be paying an awful lot of money. Look at all the skills that any modern housewife is going to have. So don't ever downplay any of that. So here we go. Here's just some examples. Transferable experience, punctuality. Were you on time? Kind of a big deal for a job, isn't it? Were you on time? Did you come to work on time all the time? Because why would we want to hire you if you're going to be late or you're not going to come to work? Work ethic. Do you have a good work ethic? Do you know how to give a fair day's work for your pay? Time management. That's important, isn't it? I have good time management skills. Can you prioritize tasks? Isn't that something you're getting, all of you right now, you're getting a lot of experience in? Time management and prioritizing tasks? See, there you go. Teamwork. Can you work as part of a team? Have you worked as part of a team? Anybody that's been involved in sports, you got that right there. You work well alone. Do we have to babysit you? Do you need supervision? Or do you work well alone unsupervised? Do you have self-discipline? Can you put aside immediate gratification for longer-term goals? Do you have the ability to deal with stress? Do you have people skills? Do you have communication skills? Can you deal with people from diverse backgrounds? Are you good at conflict resolution? So, who's got a job for me? Where do you work, Corey?
Dow Security.
Dow Security, okay. So, do you do all of that stuff? Mm-hmm. And probably a lot more, right? Even if you work at McDonald's, don't we pretty much hit all of those? Any fast food job, bingo, right there. Pretty much any job you can think of, really. So do you see what I'm saying? Never, ever tell the interviewer, well, no, I don't have any experience that would help me with this job. Yes, you do. You really do. You just have to unearth it, think about it, and be ready to deliver that in the interview, okay? Let's talk about the Corrections Academy. Most of the time it's at the Michigan State Police Academy, which is shown in the picture there. So you got 8 weeks of classroom training. If the state police are using their academy, then they usually do it off-site at another designated location. Sometimes they hold special academies just for the UP. Sometimes they hold special academies just for the female prison. But most of the time it's at the MSP Academy. Once you start the academy, you are hired by MDOC. You're an employee. So this is what's getting you paid. So your first day of the academy is your first day on the job. Your starting pay, first day on the job, $17.67. Whoa. For a know-nothing recruit. Isn't that a sweet deal? Room and board for recruits commuting over 50 miles. So you can stay there free of charge. And we'll feed you and put you up. I did some training down there years back, and I recall that the food was actually pretty good. The beds were a little hard. Yeah, and the chairs in the dorm rooms, but you know, it was a pretty good gig. Now for commuting over 50 miles, why they say that is because if you try to commute, say, from Saginaw or Bay City or Midland or something to Lansing every single day, we all know that feces occurs. Yeah, shit happens. And sooner or later, if you're commuting every single day, 5 days a week for 8 days or for 8 weeks, something's going to happen, isn't it? You're going to have a blowout on the road, you're going to hit some traffic, there's going to be an accident, something's going to happen, and you're going to be late. And they don't do late. So that's why they say, if you have a longer commute than 50 miles, you probably need to stay, because otherwise something's going to happen, you're going to wind up getting booted out, and you don't want that. Benefits begin after 2 weeks. I mean, it's full benefits, people. Medical, dental, and vision insurance. Medical, dental, and vision. And from what I'm told, it's a very good medical plan. Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Disability insurance. God forbid you should get hurt on the job. But if you do, if you have to disable out, we got your back. We got you. You can disable out. We've got disability insurance. Life insurance. That's even worse if you should get killed on the job. But again, we got your back. We got your family's back. Right? You got some life insurance so they can help pay some bills. Sick, vacation, and personal days. How many jobs give all of those? Right? That's a pretty sweet deal. Sick, vacation, and personal days. So if you're sick, you can actually call in sick. You know, I'm not talking brown bottle flu sick. I'm talking like real sick, like regular flu sick. A 401k that is matched at 3%. They don't have a retirement anymore, but that's okay, because a 401k is portable. So if you decide after a while that, well, you know, this isn't really my gig, I don't really want to do this anymore, you can take your little 401k and off you go to another job, another state, wherever. So they'll match it at 3%. Whatever you put in, they'll match that at 3%. So if you put in, let's say 3% of your salary, they'll match that. So now you got 6% going in. Maybe you put in, I don't know, 7% of your salary, they match it at 3%, now you got 10% going in. So start young, right? Accrue a lot of money, and retire rich. And it's portable. Uniforms, jackets, shoes, belts, all your equipment. The only thing they do not provide for you is your socks and underwear, because we don't know what kind you like. Tighty whities, boxers, boxer briefs, we don't know. But all of that, right? I mean, have you bought shoes lately? They're not cheap, are they? And we'll give you good shoes, good belts, good equipment. A uniform allowance of $550. As Maria said, to help you keep your uniform clean. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The door's closed, right? While the uniforms say dry clean only, you can wash them. Yeah, wash them on a gentle cycle and drip them dry. Save the money. Plus, you know, dry cleaning, all kinds of carcinogens on the material and it's going into your skin. Don't dry clean, it's just bad stuff. So wash them on a gentle cycle, drip them dry, good to go. Stick that money right in your pocket. Fitness and health stipend of $750 a year. So if you do not call in sick all year, and if you can pass that physical fitness test, they'll kick you another $750. So conceivably, every year you could pick up an extra $1,300. And guess when they pay it? In December. Isn't that convenient, right before Christmas? Now you get your Christmas shopping money. Now you can buy your kids cool stuff. I've got some pictures here. Some I took from MDOC's website, which is public, and some from a student of mine who went through the academy and actually was able to take some pictures and emailed them to me. So here's my request to you. If ever you go through an academy and get a chance to take pictures, please remember your poor corrections teacher who would love to have your photographs, okay? Send me pictures. So mugshots and fingerprints are part of the induction process for new officers. Classroom instruction is a major ingredient in the first phase of new officer training. On the first day, recruits hear the training rules and find out about the military-style discipline involved. And you can see their textbooks there on the table, how thick they are. And that is the Michigan State Police Academy Lecture Hall. Recruits Jerry Williamson and Janine Rossio practice restraint application. So they're putting on belly chains there. Quite a lot of fun. There's some tricks to it. Now if you take the CJ 135 class, correctional institutions and facilities, they do that too. So you get to practice and learn and play. Recruit Cathania Triplet learns to use CPR, kind of important. And there we are, this is from my student here. They were doing gas mask training and pepper gas. So one of the reasons that Maria mentioned that males need to be clean shaven for the academy is because you want that gas mask to seal. Trust me, you really, really want it to seal. So PT, which, you know, I mean, it's not, I'm going to be honest with you, it's not anything like the police academy. And this is one of the reasons that some people are attracted to corrections over policing, because the PT isn't nearly as rigorous or grueling. Mm-hmm. You know, and the fitness standards aren't as high. There's PT, more PT, more PT, and the instructors won't ask you to do anything they're not willing to do themselves. Now back to the PT thing, the compare and contrast with law enforcement. It's not that we think that you shouldn't be in good shape in corrections. You should, because it'll really help with the ability to perform your job and to handle stress. But here's the thing. This is the thing that makes corrections very unique from law enforcement. In law enforcement, you can be minutes or even hours away from backup. Maybe you're a city cop and you get into something and you got to wait for backup. Maybe your backup's only 2 or 3 or 4 minutes away, but you know what? When you're rolling around on the ground with somebody trying to get them under control or fighting for your life, those minutes turn into hours. Maybe you work for the sheriff's department, the state police, the DNR, and now your backup is 15, 20 minutes, a half hour, an hour away. Well, you know, you better be in pretty good shape so you can handle your situation, because backup is a long ways away. In corrections, though, right, this is the neat part about corrections, seconds. You've got a walkie-talkie and a man-down alarm, so you key the mic, push the button, pull the pin, and an alarm goes off in central control, and they will roll everybody, you know, man down, you know, here's the location, and everybody goes, boom. You got backup fast. 15 seconds and somebody will be there. 30 seconds, some bodies will be there. We went on a prison tour years back when I taught the prison tour class, and we were at Freeland. And we got lucky that day. We got one of the captains that was leading the tour, which means that we're going to go in places that we normally wouldn't go because, you know, he's a boss. So he used a little bit of his power that day, and he said, I want to show you guys something. I want to show you how fast backup is here. And we were outdoors, and he walked over and he grabbed a hold of the fence, perimeter fence, and he shook the snot out of it. And then he stood there and waited with his watch out like that. We counted seconds. Within 5, the tower officer had the window slid open, and she was hanging about halfway off of that tower with her rifle out. Within 10 seconds, I could see officers running all across the yard towards us, and one had actually made it to the fence. Within 15 seconds, the perimeter security vehicle was on us. You know, and it just went from there. I mean, we had, by the time all was said and done, there were 10 or 15 people there in about a minute. So it's not that we don't want you to be fit, that we don't think you should be fit. It's just that backup is so fast. So the need for the really high levels of fitness that we have in law enforcement just aren't there, which makes corrections a little bit more attractive. Physical fitness is important. The final test requires 9 minutes of continuous stair running, so 3 minutes on each set. And 3 minutes on the low set, 3 minutes on the medium set, and 3 minutes on Big Bertha. And there's some firearms training here. More firearms training. So you'll be trained actually with the rifle and the shotgun, but not the handgun. Riot control. More firearms training. And, you know, just hanging out. That's my student right there, Shannon. And I think she's at Saginaw now. So send me your pictures if you get a chance. I'd love it. And there's graduation. It's pretty cool. I went to graduation in October for one of my former students. And it was pretty awesome. Eight weeks of on-the-job training, OJT, on the job, at the prison to which you'll be assigned. So you got 8 weeks in the academy, in the classroom, and then they put you in the prison, for 8 more weeks of training. We're not just going to put you in the prison and kick you loose like so many places do. And we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure that you are highly supervised and that your training continues. Now, because you are technically still in the academy, you're on a Monday through Friday schedule. Enjoy it. It'll be the last time. So you won't be working weekends, holidays, or overtime. It'll be all Monday through Friday. You will be under close supervision. We are not going to leave you alone, because this is the time when the inmates are most likely to play with you, rattle your cage, and they're going to do it, and we'll let them, but somebody will be there. You will work 4 weeks on the day shift, first shift, and then you will work 4 weeks on the evening shift, the second shift. And then after that, they'll permanently assign you to a shift. When you get off your on-the-job training, most likely it's going to be second shift, maybe third. Don't expect to see day shift for a while. And there will be continued training. So you will learn more about firearms and practice with firearms. Fire safety, which, as you might imagine, in a correctional facility is a pretty big deal. Perimeter security. And in the facilities that have gun towers, you'll learn about gun tower duty. We see here, new recruit Katanya Triplett learns on the job at JMF, which is now closed, on her journey becoming a corrections officer for the MDOC. And there she is again. Now she's at Southern Michigan Correctional Facility, which is a different one. That one's still open. Recruit Janine Rossio works with Officer Mike Pritchard at the State Prison of Southern Michigan during her on-the-job training. Learning about security threat groups is part of the Phase 3 training. STG, Security Threat Group Coordinator, Robert Mulvaney teaches. So you learn about all your gang signs and that kind of stuff. Hopefully you don't know that now. Following your on-the-job training. You are a probationary employee for 1 year. Yes, sir.
She said it was 6 months.
Not probation. Nope, you're a probationary employee for 1 year. After 1 year, you get full status. It's called E9, which is actually your pay grade. E9 Corrections Officer. And that's a pay increase of about $2 an hour, give or take some change. So from 1767, 1819, so yeah, you're just a little bit south of 20 bucks an hour. That's pretty nice. Probably about what I make when I crunch all the numbers of the time that I put in on grading and everything else. I'm working the wrong job. Top pay, 5 years. Check this out. 5 years in, $27.06 an hour. Plus, that's $1,300 a year if you do all of that. Plus overtime, which there's a lot of. Plus shift differential. And if you're working in a level 4 or a level 5 facility, an extra 50 cents an hour. Which you might say, well, that's not really a lot. Well, yeah, but it adds up, right? It's a little pocket change. 50 cents an hour, so that's $4 a day. Times, however many days that you work in a year, that adds up. I'll take it.